suppose the first question is, what do you say to the charge that Tobias Ellwood put there, that NATO is in effect sitting on its hands?
Well, I agree with a lot of what Tobias has said there, particularly protecting grain. I think what he said that there are some NATO countries like the US and ourselves who have really bent our backs on this and lent into it and given the Ukrainians lots of equipment, lots of training, lots of technology and lots of intelligence. Some NATO countries have been very slow to the party. There's been a lot of criticism of the Germans, who are right on the doorstep, who have tremendous capability to be able to support Ukraine. So people have been slow. And you were talking earlier on about the cost of living crisis. Now, in my mind, I'm not an economist, that is almost exclusively now being caused by the fuel hike and the food hike being caused by the war in Ukraine. Petrol in January of this year was 40 to 50p a litre less than it is today. Imagine what that reduction would do to the cost of living crisis. So I think Tobias is right. And I also think that we should be more proactive in protecting those ships. I accept that some NATO countries might veto that, but the coalition of the willing that Tobias talks about, hopefully led by the UK, could protect it. And I think having British aircraft, RAF aircraft, providing some sort of air cover in international waters is something that we can do. So apart from ourselves and the Americans and some others, I think the rest of NATO needs to dig deep, empty its equipment stores and start supporting more directly the Ukrainian military. I also think that we need to consider what happens in the future and the fact that we're all very concerned about boots on the ground, ships in the sea or aircraft in the air from NATO getting involved in Ukraine. We must plan for that, because if Putin doesn't think that we'll go there, that again gives him an advantage to keep going.